Hi all, today I am talking about a fossil pteridophyte Calamites. The systematic position is order Calamitales, the family Calamitaceae and the genus is Calamites, Calamites. It is obtained from Carboniferous rock in Oklahoma, a state in south central region of United States. It was a common swamp plant similar to modern horsetail, that is similar to Equisetum, but it is little more larger in size than that of the Equisetum. It is an extinct arborescent tree-like plant to which the Equisetum is closely related. It grew in coal swamp of Carboniferous period and the specimen obtained are cast or impression or compression. Originally, the name Calamites was given by Suckow, Suckow in 1784. At first, the name was given only to the central pith of the trunk, but now the name is also used for the entire plant. It has yielded many kind of fossils such as the trunk, the leaves, the rhizome, etc. The tree Calamites reaches up to the height of 33 feet, that is 10 meters. It reaches to the height of 10 meters. In this picture, you can see the plant Calamites, but never get confused that this is the original plant. These are only diagrammatic representation. The plant body of Calamites is divided into two parts. They are underground rhizome. You can see a underground rhizome. See, this is the underground rhizome and an aerial shoot. Thus, the plant body is differentiated into the underground rhizome and aerial shoot. The rhizome is differentiated into nodes and internodes, and the node are having whirl of adventitious roots. Here you can see the node and internode. These are the nodes. These are the nodes, and the region in between the node is internode. And at the nodal region, you can see numerous roots. These are the numerous adventitious roots developing from the nodal region of the rhizome. The aerial shoot is arising from the upper surface of the rhizome. Here you can see the aerial shoot. These are the aerial shoot, and these aerial shoots are arising from the upper surface of the rhizome. At a certain distance, these aerial root are also producing the adventitious root, and it indicates that some portion of the aerial shoot grow under the soil surface. In this area you can see the numerous adventitious roots arising from the aerial stem, and this indicates that this much portion is growing under the soil. The aerial shoot is also divided into nodes and internodes. The aerial shoot also carries numerous leaves. See this, numerous leaves, and these leaves are restricted to the nodal region, and these leaves are arranged in whorl. The point of attachment of aerial shoot to the rhizome is sharply constricted. See this. you can see the constriction, that is the shoot is tapering towards the lower side, and at the point of attachment between the rhizome and the aerial shoot is sharply constricted, that is the aerial shoot is sharply constricted at the point of attachment with the rhizome. The calamitous is much branched, and based on the branching there are three different types of trees. They are, first one, stylocalamitous, stylocalamitous, stylocalamitous. In this, the branches are few in number and are scattered. The second one is calamitina. Second one is calamitina, calamitina. In calamitina, whorls of branches are present only at a certain node. And the third one is eucalamitous, eucalamitous, eucalamitous. In this, the branches are borne at every node. Thus, there are three different types of calamitous. They are stylocalamitous, calamitina, and eucalamitous based on the branching pattern of the tree. If you look into the internal structure of the stem carries an outermost layer, epidermis. Inner to the epidermis is cortex. The central region is occupied by the stele. In the younger stem, the cortex had an outer sclerotic zone and an inner thin-walled parenchymatous zone. The central region of the stem is occupied by the pith, but the parenchymatous pith is present in the nodal region only. But in the internodal region, the central region is hollow, as in the case of Equisetum. The vascular bundles had collaterally arranged xylem and phloem. The xylem was endark. In the central region, you can see a carinal canal. The carinal canal are produced by dissolution of protoxylem elements. The secondary growth in the stem is taking place through the activity of cambium. After secondary growth, the cylinder is obtaining a thickness of 6 centimeters or more. The secondary wood did not show any differentiation of annual rings. The secondary xylem had the scalariform and pitted tracheids. Secondary growth also took place in the cortex, producing periderm of several centimeters in thickness. This is all about the internal structure of stem. The leaves of calamitous are given with the name annularia, A-N-N-U-L-A-R-I-A, annularia. And this name annularia is given for the leaves of calamitous. The foliage leaves are found mostly on the smallest tubes. They are whorled in arrangement. Each leaf was linear. You can see the linear leaves. Each leaf was linear in shape and are lanceolate. It had a single vein and was with a length ranging from 4 millimeters to 5 millimeters. The roots of calamitous are called as astromylon, A-S-T-R-O-M-Y-E-L-O-N, astromylon. internally, they had a direct triarch xylem with a centripetal protoxylem. The cambium was present in the root but produced only a limited quantity of secondary wood. The strobilus or the cone associated with the Calamitian stem was given with the name Calamostachys, 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 and this name is given only to the strobilus or the cone associated with the Calamitian stem. In this, the strobilus is having a central axis. See, this is the central axis. And the central axis carries whorls of sporangiophores. Central axis is carrying whorls of sporangiophores. See, these are the sporangiophores. And these sporangiophores are arranged in whorls. Alternating with the sporangiophore, you can see the bracts. See, these are the bracts. And these bracts are alternating with the sporangiophores. Once again, this strobilus or the cone is having a central axis, and around the central axis the sporangiophores and the bracts are spirally arranged. The genus Calamostachys had both homosporous and heterosporous species. The strobilus had both type of sporangia in heterosporous forms. That is, it is having the microsporangia and the megasporangia. This is all about the strobilus Calamostachys in the case of calamitous.